Oh, 36. Fantastic. Okay, good to see everyone here. Oh, I see you, Eunice. Hello. Binder. Where is, oh, there's Animesh. Great. Thank you everyone for joining us. We are here to celebrate all the new incoming students who are joining us this fall at USF. And I have a couple of wonderful alumni here that are going to give you some great tips, and current students as well. The purpose of this is to encourage you, to everyone get, excited about the fact that you're coming here. We're celebrating that you're joining us here at the university. And most of all, we want to introduce you to USF Network India. And the purpose of the network and the purpose of this meeting is so that you can begin to build your network even before you arrive at the university. And then even after you leave the university, we'll be pulling you in like we have with our alumni to remain connected. So I just want to make it clear that this is a great opportunity for you to get to know your fellow peers, connect with people that have been to USF, who have gone through this journey. So I really want to encourage you to use the chat. You can drop your LinkedIn information. You can drop, your contact information. If you have questions, you can use the chat. We're not going to be answering questions about things like housing, and it's not an orientation. But if you do have some important questions, I do have Jana here, which is going to introduce herself in just a moment, who's going to help us with that sort of information. And if we can't cover it during this 1 hour, what we'll do is go back and take a look at the questions that you've put in the chat and make sure to address them later. But right now, the point is to get to know each other, connect with people, and have someone to talk to, like before you even come here, about USF. So I'm going to hand it over to Jana for just a second. She's going to let you know a little bit about what she does, and then we'll move on to our guest speakers.
Good morning, everybody. I hope that you've heard of my team by this point. My name is Janet Evelyn, and I lead the International Student Support Team here at the University of South Florida. We cover all 3 campuses, so it doesn't matter what program you're in or what campus you're on. Hopefully, you've got an email or 2 from us at least. We help with everything outside of admissions, academics, and immigration. And that sounds like a lot of things, but then that means we help with all the life stuff. So where are you living? How are you doing on your immunizations? Do you have health insurance? Something really good happened to you and you want somebody to show up to take your picture? Something really bad happened to you and you maybe need somebody to show up at the hospital and have some conversations. That's my team. That's why you would talk to us and everything else. So I will be in the chat. I will answer some brief questions. I'll drop some information in there. We do have a lot of webinars and information out there for you guys. But I'm just grateful to be here today and look forward to meeting all of you guys when you arrive here in Tampa very shortly. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jana. Okay, and then of course, we absolutely have to recognize our country director in India, Aruna. We'd like you to say a few words, always working so hard to connect us to our alumni in India, and always such a great support for our programs here at the university.
Hi. So as Vanessa said, I'm Aruna Dasgupta. I'm USF's country advisor in India. I'm based in New Delhi. And I'll put my email ID in the chat box. You're welcome to, just chat with me, because I think Jana is going to be able to answer all your questions now, or not now, later. So, but I'd just like to say hello to all of you. And I handle a lot of the alumni from India, especially those who are based in India. We have some of them here already. And you may not be able to chat with them, but I'd love to connect you to them whenever you want to. So let's just go on, and welcome to USF, and happy farewells in the coming days to you. Okay. Okay, Vanessa.
Thank you so much. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest right now is that my lovely assistant Tatiana is going to put the link to the USF Network India in the chat, so all of you can join there and connect. Jenna, I believe you have also a cool team for international students that they can join and begin asking questions and making connections, if you want to put that in the chat as well. And then maybe later on, we'll talk a little bit about Bulls Connect. Jana, you can put a link to that. But for now, let's go to our special guests, Animesh, Yunus. We're excited to have you here. Gurpinder. I would love if you could introduce yourself, and let's start with how you came to USF, how you ended up there, and where you are now. Animesh, let's start with you.
Hello, hey Vanessa. Am I audible? Good. Hello, hi Vanessa. Hi everyone. How's it going? So this is Animesh Dhudpale. I work with City right now, and I graduated in 2016 from USF, from MIS degree. And I think it was a great experience for me to come to USF. The staff and the teachers are great. First thing. Uh, I had shortlisted a few colleges. I think you must have also done the same thing. And finally, you have chosen USF. I'm going to guarantee you are on the right path to success. Okay, that I want to guarantee you. So definitely, yeah, you have taken a great step forward in your career. So I wish all of you all the best, and definitely, Vanessa, people can connect to me also, whatever required. Okay, any help, anything, all of our all of our, like Vanessa, all the directors there, everyone is very helpful. We have an international students community also. Completely, we have that Patel Center also, so everyone is really helpful. You'll, I am definitely sure that you are going to have a great journey there. All right, yeah, over to you, Melissa. Vanessa.
Thank you so much. Okay, Yunus, can we hear from you?
Absolutely. Hey everyone, I think it's good evening, and if you guys are from India, but from us from the East Coast, it's good morning. Vanessa, thank you for organizing this. Really appreciate it. So, guys, my name is Yunus Khan. Graduated from USF in 2017. Just like how everyone, just like how Vanessa has organized this. Someone had organized this for me as well when I was in India, when I was going through the process of figuring out, hey, which college do I choose, which major do I choose, where do I go? Because it feels really like you feel like you're against the world when you have no one in this country, right? Because you have to go through all these like different challenges. So USF has built this amazing community for international students where everyone feels welcomed, right? So I remember I'm originally from Bangalore, India, and I remember going to one of the gatherings which USF had conducted in the city, and then I went and met a lot of like representatives from USF, and they just gave us so much information, so made us really feel warm and welcome, right? So even before like I came to the states, I already knew that I was in really good hands with this community, and I remember also Jenna being the student advisor and helping us with international relations. So it was a really warm, good feeling. So yeah, a little bit about me. Graduated from a mechanical engineering degree, master's in 2017. Got a few internships in some local companies around the St. Petersburg, Tampa area. And then I got hired into a company called Refresco Beverages, which is a contract manufacturer for Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and all the big bottled beverages. But was with Refresco for almost 7 years until last month, where Siemens hired me as their senior operations manager. So I'm now focused on running operational excellence programs for three of our switchgear and automatic transfer switches facilities around Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Dallas, Texas, and Boston in Massachusetts. So that's what I do right now. And in my spare time, I do like going to USF and attending one of these alumni events. It's always a pleasure. And I always think of this one thing: someone gave me a shot, right? Someone helped me. So now it's my time, or it's our time as leaders to give incoming people like this a shot. It's just how society works, I think. And I think USF is a great place to start off your career. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Yunus. And congratulations on your success. That's wonderful that you're over at Siemens now.
Thank you.
Gurpinder, you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Gurpinder, and I am currently a bachelor's studying. I'm a sophomore studying at USF, and I'm earning a bachelor's in IT. So I got the privilege of being able to connect with USF Network and USF India by through SIA. So there's an association on campus, the Students of India Association, that's available for all students to join. And I'll drop the link from the link tree and later into the chat. And it's just a good way for everyone to connect. And I'm the president, so I've had the privilege of being able to attend such events. So um, I think it's been a really good opportunity for me to be studying at USF and for this to be able to connect through such networks because it allows me to expand my own network and it provides opportunity for everybody else to have the same access to information and community away from home that I did because I'm local to the Tampa area, but I'm originally from New Delhi, India. So I think being able to connect with students that are similar to me, like in terms of my culture or heritage, it definitely feels it's much more easier to be comfortable at on campus. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let me ask all of our guest speakers a question here. Tatiana, maybe you can highlight all three of them. Let's just jump right in. When you first arrived at USF, what was your impression? And then what were your greatest challenges? Animesh, let's start with you.
Okay, sure. So I joined, I joined in January was a start for me, like the spring. So, so that time, um, I arrived around like 1st of January at USF, and everything was closed on that day, and I was just trying to look on campus. That time, what happens, you are new to the, you must have, tried to lease some places, to live, maybe on campus, off campus. So I arrived at a day, on a day when it was a holiday. But on the next day, everything got rolling. Like we had the buses on wherever you will get the schedule for the buses to start. For you, as you are joining in fall, I think it would be really smooth. Uh, all the buses are there. We have good transportation there. Everything is organized. All routes are there. So once I got to know people there, I connected. I think it was a great, smooth journey there. And we also get a lot of goodies there. You'll get some hats, something keep coming up. There's a market on Wednesdays, right, Vanessa? Uh, bull market in the student center. Yeah. So that's a good place. You can just hang out also. So a lot of things will come up there, and I think you'll be able to enjoy those things as well. Um, Coming to like Vanessa, what do you want me to explore more, like towards food or more towards classes, or what would be like a better focus? What do you think?
Just in general, let's say what's the biggest challenge you faced right away, when you first got here? Because a lot of our incoming students, they're going to be arriving, I think, in the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting. So, any advice or anything that you can offer, just say, I experienced this when I first arrived, and here's what I recommend.
Okay, sure. So I think there are a lot of things on the campus that you can explore, and getting information on those things would be like a thing that you should start with. Definitely, a lot of resources are there that you might or might not know because you'll be focused on study. But even the rec center is great. Uh, one of the challenges that I would want to say is the bus timings. Usually, if you want to travel, but then you have other you can get a bike or something also. That is fine. But in general, like everything is smooth. Um, Depending on what majors are, or is this mixed, Vanessa? Like everyone is connected, like which major?
That's that's a great question. According to the RSVPs, we have a lot of
Mhm.
students in engineering, but let's go ahead and let's in the chat. Why don't you let us know what your major is, and we'll see if we have a majority in another area?
Okay. Bioinformatics, management, computer science, civil engineering. Okay. Electrical. Okay. Public health. That's interesting. Uh, I think we have a mix of everyone. So
Yeah, we have a little bit
yeah.
of everything. That's great. I'm interested to know, let's see by a show of hands, if you're able to raise your hand here, how many of you are joining a master's program and how many of you are joining, well, let's first do masters. I don't want to get them confused. Who's joining a master's program? Hey, we're up to 8, 10, 11. Okay, we have a lot. I know we have a lot of master's students or graduate students from India. Okay, so we have about 10. Okay. You guys want to put your hands down, please? I'm gonna guess the rest of you are undergrads, but let's have a show of hands anyway.
Yeah.
How many of you are undergraduate students?
Okay, I think even if anyone is undergrad or grad, one thing is everyone is going to need is money on the campus. So you'll have to set up your bank account. You know, we have a bank on site as well, and there are banks around. So I think one thing that you will need is getting money for your expenses, or if you need an on-campus job, also you'll have to figure that out. That would be like a little bit of a challenge that you will have to face first, depending on what you want to explore. Uh, but that also can be sorted out. Not a big deal. But one thing you should, for a start, you should do that is get a card there. Um, uh, what's the bank? Sorry, Anissa? Federal Credit Union,
Sorry,
FCU, Federal Credit Union, right?
what did you say? Sorry.
USF FCU, right? Federal Credit Union. We have that bank on campus.
That's
USF
correct.
Federal Credit Union. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
I
would
have my
be
accounts there as well.
yeah. I still have one. Just in case if I decide to come back. Yeah. So yeah, there you can, if you don't have all the documents, you have your student letters, you can start a bank account there. Um, that would be like an easy process, and it's very smoother on campus. I think that would be one thing that would be helpful for you. Yeah, Melissa,
Okay, thank you.
that's from my side.
Thank you so much. So after Eunice and Gurpinder, I'm going to go to Jana and we're going to discuss some of these things like transportation and the bank accounts and everything, just very briefly. Eunice, what was your first impression when you came to the USF campus and what was your biggest challenge in the first couple of weeks?
Well, definitely the humidity. As soon as you come here, you guys are gonna feel, the different form of humidity, which I don't think I mean, we do see that in some parts of India, but Florida is very humid and it got some taking too. It's just a very different climate. It's a wet climate, so you guys need to be prepared for that. But other than that, it's just a whole. I mean, for me, I had never left India before USF, so culture shock for me, right? I want to share like one funny thing what I encountered as at that time in the Marshall Center we had Einstein's Bros and Bagels, and it was a very funny story where I went to the first day in school. I go to Einstein's Bros and Bagels, and I asked the waiter to give me the donut. Right, cultural shocks you get, and you keep learning through your stay over here. Um, but also, I think as someone who's coming with with into a whole different side of the world, what really helps is what who you know, and not it's not what you know, right? So the networking plays a major part in our journey over here. So I made a point to, USF has like tons of these networking events. SIA conducts a lot of events. Just other organizations, the Latin American organization, Black History or Black Students Association. So I used to just enroll myself in all these different events so that I could just meet people, learn their different backgrounds, where are they coming from. Like it's just, it's a America is such a blend of different cultures that you'll be learning all throughout your life, right? So that was the biggest opportunity for me, and that's how I was able to make my connections and get to know people, set up different routines. Always push yourself to do the uncomfortable things, right? Because that's what causes growth. That's what gives us growth. Never settle for anything less. Because at this point over here, you are by yourself. You don't have your parents or your siblings or anyone to give you anything on a silver platter. You have to fight for this. The hustle is real, especially if you're international students. We are on a visa program, and you gotta work X amount of hours on campus. You gotta still maintain your credits, and then the hunt for finding internships, the hunt for finding like your OPTs, your full times, your H1Bs. So it's just the hustle is like constant. So I would encourage everyone to just settle for nothing less. You have to come out of your comfort zone for sure once you're in this side of the world.
Great. Thank you so much. Very good tips. Get out there and meet people. Don't sit in your dorm room or your apartment in front of your computer all the time. You really have to go out and talk to people, build relationships. What about you, Gurpinder? You've been there 2 years. You're locally from the Tampa Bay area, so you probably had more connections. But what do you suggest as president of your organization for newcomers, new Indian students who are coming in? What's the best way for them to connect, to meet, build, a network for themselves?
So I think the easiest way to build a network, especially when you're new to the area, is like Yuna said, to get connected to different organizations. So depending on what major you are, there are different organizations catered towards those specific departments. Like we have some cultural organizations like SIA, for example, for Indian students, and then we have multiple like for Bangladeshi students, Pakistani students, and all those cultural organizations. But we also have like SASE, which is specifically catered towards engineering, and we have SHEP, which is also for engineering and computer science. And then, of course, we have some coding or programming clubs, like Girls Who Code. And then we have some of the health programs as well. I'm not sure about the health ones because I'm not personally really connected to those, but I'm sure they exist on campus as well. So I think that's the easiest way to get over the difficulty of being alone, because then when you have a community to rely on, you don't feel as alone as you were when you first came here. So I think it's much easier to get accustomed to it. And I think it's definitely hard to find your way around campus in the beginning too, because it's so big and it just seems like everything's everywhere. So it's very, because when I first got here, I remember I was lost on my first day. So I had to actually call up one of my friends who came with me and I had to be like, "Where are you? I need to find you." So we had to connect to each other across campus and it took us about 15 minutes. So just having somebody to rely on makes everything a lot easier in the process.
Great tips. Before I move to Jana and get all her advice on where to get support on campus, I want to see a show of hands of our alumni. Let's see how many of our alumni are on the call. It's a great opportunity for you as other alumni or as current students or incoming students to connect with those who have already gone through this whole process, who can give you some perspective. I know there's a few of them. I saw you all on the call, and we're really glad that you're here. So everybody take note. The alumni that you see on the screen, please put your information in the chat, connect with them. and feel free to ask questions. So I'm going to go to Jana right now for some extra info about how to get settled on campus and where to, access your resources. And then after that, I really want to open the floor and give you all the opportunity to ask some questions. Jana?
So those are all really great, getting involved in clubs and organizations. Setting yourself up for success now. How are you? Do you have everything ready? Are you packed? How are you getting from the airport? I know there's a lot of clubs and organizations that offer free rides from the airport. The university is actively discouraging some of those to occur because students are not properly insured in those cars to be doing car share services. So we have built out a part of our website to have information now for car services to and from the airport, so that students know a safe way to do it. So if something happens, because it did last year, we have a student who was in one of those car shares. There was an accident and the insurance denied the claim. So everybody involved in that has to pay for themselves. So that's not the best thing, right? You're coming fresh from the airport and now you're in a car accident and then you now have to pay for yourself in that car accident. We don't want that. So like thinking ahead, trying to plan some of those things out, making sure that your housing's all situated. Those are areas that my team can help with if you're still kind of seeking or looking for information on that. There's also a lot of really good information in the clubs and organizations. The Student of India organization is one of the biggest and best on campus when it comes to connecting and assisting students. So it's a really, really good organization to get involved in addition to the network. And then making sure that you're going to some of those experts. And so it's really good to get the advice from the alumni. But then again, also some of our alumni and some of the kids on the call, they started here 1 year, even 2 years ago, even 3, 4, 5 years ago. And some information has changed even in 1 year. My team was not around until officially helping all students as of May of last year. And so that's a new thing. And that's why we're on this call and we're talking to students, because a lot of our older alumni or even our most recent alumni don't even know that my team now exists. And so making sure you're asking those questions, you should always ask your friends, but then as a good friend, we should say, I think this is the answer, but let's go talk to the experts or let me get you to the right person so we don't give bad information, because we just don't know, right? And that's the thing I love the most about international students. That's all I've ever worked with because I love it so much. Internationals are the first ones to try to help you. And that's why I really, really love the organizations that you guys have built out and the systems, because there's a constant network of support. So getting involved as quickly as possible, joining multiple clubs and organizations, even if it's different from your own background or culture, that's a good thing too from networking alone. And if you ever have a question, like I said, outside of immigration, academics, or admissions, my team is here. We literally, my boss would tell you to make us earn our money. That's our job. So help us get paid today. If you have a question, you can ask it. I will drop some additional links in the chat to our website and ways to connect with my team or myself.
Thank you, Jana. So yeah, when you guys are on campus, come say hello to us. Jana's International Student Success Center now is a great place for you to hang out, for you to meet people. Jana, I think you even have a game room. I mean, you can go there and study, you can go there and hang out. If you have any trouble, there's somewhere that you need to get, you're having trouble with transportation, Jana's team is there to help you problem solve. So don't feel like you have to solve problems on your own. It's very stressful and you're in a new environment. Don't do it alone, okay? You've got a whole team of people at USF World excited to help you, and you've got plenty of peers who are going to be there for you too, okay? So let's hear your questions. If you're extremely shy and you don't want to turn your camera on, that's okay. You can put questions in the chat. Animesh, you had something to say?
Hey, yes, Vanessa. To add to Jana's point, one thing that I faced as a challenge was getting a ride from airport to the university. First thing, because my internet was not working, I did not have a SIM card there. For that, I had talked to one of my friends who was already in the US. So you can book an airport shuttle. Uh, that would be a good option for you. So I think I don't know which is a better shuttle service for now. But maybe Jana can help you there to suggest some current good shuttle services. But that helped me. Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions out there? All of you must be like perfectly prepared. Is everybody packed? When are you arriving? Let's put that in the chat. You coming in a week, 2 weeks? 11th of August. Ooh, that's really soon. Okay, everybody's coming really, really fast. Okay. Oh, Sayanti's already here. Already in Tampa. Wow. Okay, a lot of people are already in Tampa. That's great. So if you're already here, especially, please do connect with the Students of India Association. Please, put your contact information here, reach out. Let's make sure you get connected and you're ready to go when the semester starts. Okay, that's a good question, Manish. Jana, who should we connect to if they have questions about payment fees or anything like that?
So you can connect with our team. Everything's in Oasis though, so we can talk you through how to do the payment, some tips and tricks. A lot of students get hung up because the payment system does not accept Visa cards. So if you have a Visa credit card, a Visa debit card that you're trying to use to pay, it is not going to work with your student account. So some students will use Flywire, or you can actually connect your bank account directly to your student account. So you can just do the transfers that way. So you can totally connect with that. I'm dropping a few links in the chat right now, including how to book an appointment with my team to do a personal 30-minute consultation.
And I just want to bring this up because I know we heard about this in another one of our welcome events. Some students have some issues when they arrive here because their phone number is different, because of the Authenticator app, because of Teams. Can you just say a few words about that so we can avoid the stress of arriving here and not being able to communicate?
Yes. So if you are signing into your USF Net ID and you're getting a text message texted to you, that's great. But if you're going to be changing your number when you get to the US or Tampa, or even if you're coming from New Jersey to Tampa, anytime you're changing that number, the number then is not going to get the text message to log into Authenticator app. So either you need to change the number in the system through your NetID, or what we actively encourage students to always use is the Authenticator app. If you're already doing text messages, you can log in and adjust that. We strongly recommend you do that prior to arrival, because once you get here and you start doing things you can't log into your NetID, they're going to have to reset your NetID account. And that can take anywhere from a few hours to a few days, because you might have to verify your identity. They might have a backlog of a whole bunch of students doing it. The longest I've seen is 3 days where a student was trying to get their account reset. And that was a mixture of delay and then their own personal issues of verifying their identity. But that was really stressful because classes had started, so they couldn't access anything that the professors were sending to them. So that is something to look at now. If you're getting a text message to log into your USF accounts, consider switching to the Authenticator app. And if you need help with that, I will be again dropping some links in the chat on how you can connect with IT to walk you through those steps. Thanks, Vanessa. I forgot about that.
Okay, just want to encourage all of you once again, if you have questions for our alumni, if you have questions for our current students who are on the call, please put it in the chat or turn your camera on and your microphone on. Don't be shy. We are here to help you and to be excited with you that you're going to be joining us. Oh, nice, Jan. I see your link there to make an appointment. That's great. And I'm going to actually just call some students at random that are already here because I'm really interested to know when you arrived. And let's see, who can we call? If you're already here, why don't you jump on and tell us who you are and when you arrived? Abhinaya? Everyone's hiding. They don't want to talk. No? All right. So let's jump back to our alumni
I think
then.
there's one question. I think there's one
There's one
question which
question here.
Tushar is asking.
Oh, good. There you go. That's a great question. What was your approach to getting an internship during your studies?
Um, so Tushar, what I did, again, everything was about networking, right? So there was a career fair which was organized by a local college in the St. Petersburg area. And USF also does career fairs. So that's a great opportunity to meet prospective employers, right? And they do it like I think every semester for internships, jobs. So, I went to one of these career fairs, obviously with my resume and experiences, and just stood and spoke to the recruiters. And then once the recruiter once you kind of you need to have like a 2-minute pitch at least prepared, right? Because you how are you different from the rest of the people is what the employers are going to look at, right? Because they get like loads and loads of resumes, and then you need to just make yourself like put yourself in the spotlight, that they see you, and then they have an impression of you even after they leave the campus of from the career fair. So prepare is updated to the US standards, because I know in India the resume standards are a little bit different. So kind of take tips from some of your peers or your seniors, and you can reach out to us as well, and we can help you get your resume updated, prepare a pitch, make a list of companies that you are willing to work for and provide your skill sets, and then go talk to these people, blow them away with your pitch and give them your resume, and then after that follow up with them once they leave the campus. Take their email address or the phone number, just follow up with them and tell them that, hey, it was a great time talking to you. I hope you remember my resume. Can we please connect for a cup of coffee, or can we please chat on the phone? So just some of the ways how you can make yourself visible from the 100 or 1,000 plus resumes they get every semester. So that was just one trick which worked for me, which may work for you. I know Animesh or Gurpinder, you may have different experiences.
Yeah, I think is on point here. Um, Usually, networking will really help you in internships. You know, uh, Jobs would be a different scenario, but internships is a company going up and down where they know that they will not get a lot of benefit from your 3 months of 3 months of work, but it's like a win-win situation for both of them. So that would be very much of a networking thing. Um, but you can as an exception also you could get internships, you can keep applying. um, you know just talking about India versus the US, a lot of companies offer more internships than India, I think, and most of the internships are paid internships, so that is also there. So definitely you can try and find out. I think USF also has some internship and job resources. I remember there's a portal for it also. So through that also you can connect to someone who is a networking person for you in your department also, and they can also help. You can find internships. Local internships are uploaded on that portal also. So that would be one platform. LinkedIn is always there, and there are a few let's say Robert Half, like recruitment agencies. So sometimes you would get you can talk to those people there, like you're looking for an internship. um, so if they have some opportunities, and if you connect to one of their representatives, they could probably help you a little better also. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to highlight something that both of you mentioned, and that's being proactive, which is a verb that we love in the United States, I think. And that means that here you really do have to go and get it if you want it. We don't have a system that provides people with internships or jobs automatically. You have to look for them. You have to make yourself seen. You have to prepare yourself. You have to be out in the public, and people have to see you and get to know you to offer you an opportunity. So I want to encourage all of you to do that. As difficult as it is when you first get there, you're going to get the hang of it, but definitely just know that you have to really put yourself out there. That's what we say here in the US. I don't know.
I just thought that maybe, Yunus and Animesh, could you add that unlike in India, where when you have placement fairs at universities or IITs, they will not offer you a job or a placement during the fair. Am I right? It will only be later. So could you say something about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the recruitment process is very rigorous, I would say, depending on which company you're going for or which job you're applying for. For software jobs, I think it's a very rigorous process. So for software engineers. There's code, there's initial screening, there's then you set up with you talk to a gatekeeper. This is an interview process which I experienced with Amazon, for example. After the initial screening, then you have a gatekeeper, is what they call. They test your skills. They ask you leadership questions. They ask you, some of the job related questions, and then you have panel interviews, which could go like 4 to 5 hours long. So the jobs itself are not given on the spot, and it takes quite some time for you to get the job. So that's why it's very important. Like, for example, if you are trying to get an internship, let's say in your second semester, you have to start within the searching for your internship from the first semester itself. Like, you have to be out there. You got to be more proactive than reactive, right? So depending on when you want the job, I would keep a time frame of at least 6 months prior for you to start searching for jobs, because the job itself, the recruitment process itself takes like 2 to 3 months. And for a full-time job, it could take the same amount. But for internships, maybe less than a month. But I would still give myself at least 6 months from when you're planning on starting a job to start searching for a job, if you know what I mean. So it's a little bit different than what we see in India, where they give on-site offer letters. That's not the case over here.
Yeah, surely. So I think one more point I want to add here is, for example, I will give an example that I had experienced at USF. So Deloitte was there, they had a career fair, but all the students, many of the students gave resumes, but no one got a job right there and then. They had to connect with the people again afterwards. They had to make the contact, and then they were called for interviews. Whoever got that connection, and any person, what a company will look in very plain words, they will look for skill set. They want someone who can get the job done for them. So, but definitely, if you are looking for internships and jobs, that is the end goal, right? For most of us. So, focus on your skills definitely. Like if there's any specific emerging technology, just make sure that you have that exact knowledge that is required for that internship. Go through those, descriptions, what they're looking for, and make sure that you, like Yunus was saying, right? 6 months before that, if you want to prepare, you can start preparing and upgrade your skill set accordingly. So even if you, let's say, we always have to have plan B in life, right? So even if you don't get an internship, you will be prepared for the job with that skill, and you will be, one up in that skill when you're searching for a job. So definitely, that would be helpful for you. Um,
I also
there's
want to
one more
add,
question.
there's,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, Vanessa, please go ahead. I saw that
Oh,
question, so I was like,
I thought
yeah,
someone else had a
yeah.
question.
No.
Okay, I just want to give some advice to do something that we call an informational interview. And you can do this for anything, not just for a job or an internship, but it's a great way to connect with people in a company or in an organization or in a place that you're interested in joining or working with or partnering with. And that means that you basically connect with them and you say, I just want to ask a couple of questions about, you know, what's your job like? What do you do? What did you do to get that job? What are the skills that you need every day? And a lot of people like to entertain these types of interviews because there's no pressure, right? You're not asking for a job, you're not asking for a position. You're just genuinely trying to learn about what that person does and how they do it. So that's a great thing that you can do when you reach out through LinkedIn, for example, to say, I'd love to know more about what you do and what you did to get there, or your field, or working for this company. Do you like it? So using that language in English, using saying informational interview or just asking a few questions is a great way to get a little bit of knowledge about something that you might be interested in. All right, we have 10 minutes left, so I want to give all of our special speakers the opportunity to give you some advice and some encouragement. So I want you to think about, what do you wish you had known back when you started at USF that you know now? Like now you've studied there, you've graduated, some of you, like if you could go back and you could tell yourself something that would be helpful, encouraging, some advice, what do you wish you had known back when you first came to the USF campus that you now know?
Sure, I can go first. I think the hustle is so real and so much that it's easy to get caught up in this, right? So I would tell myself that focus on your first and foremost your health, because if you don't have your health, all this is just for nothing, right? Your health, your family, and then your other things, right? Work-life balance is definitely important, because if you don't prioritize that, you can just get caught into the hustle, and then at the end, 30 years or 50 years from now, when you're trying to retire, you'll be spending your savings, your 401ks on your medical expenses rather than enjoying your time with your family, right? So please do keep that in mind, that jobs and work will always be there, but your family and your health will not. So please do prioritize on that, for sure.
Rupinder?
Sure. So when I first came here last year, I think I wish somebody would have told me about how different it would be from high school, because I grew up in the area, and I had been a part of the IB program. I'd earned my IB diploma as well, but I don't think I was used to the schedule, because high school had been so strict with the scheduling. So when I shifted to campus and everything was it was all reliant on me. In the first month or so, it was definitely difficult for me to get a grasp, because I was just very comfortable with how everything was going, and I had a lot of freedom that I didn't have before, so I didn't use it the best way. So I wish somebody would have told me to just make sure that I allot time throughout my day to different things that are important to me. Like Una said, like your health, make sure that you're keeping up with your family, especially if you come to the US from India, make sure you're staying in touch with them, and definitely take out time for your studies as well and your hobbies.
Okay, great. Thank you. Animesh?
Yeah, I think from my side also more or less is the same, as and Gurpinder have told. Um, you know, I was earlier also said, I was saying that we have a great rec center, and it's free for students. So make the most of it. Try to find at least half an hour. I don't remember the buses, that what 2 or 3 buses go to rec center. So wherever you are living, you can go to rec center. At least try to spend half an hour there. It's really good. There are even, it's not just a gym. You have swimming, you have basketball, badminton. A lot of activities are there. There are special events that go on. So there's a different calendar for it. So that would be helpful for you to, at least have, because usually what happens, people end up doing their assignments, and most of the time is spent on those projects and assignments. So definitely one thing is that. Um, one more thing that I wanted to focus on is, a little bit of difference in Indian education system versus the US education system. because I've grown up. I think there are a lot of people from different countries here, but just to focus. Um, you will have great professors and teachers, but your projects will make you learn a lot of things, and you will be able to, you will have to search and do your own projects properly. It's not that it's straightforward, and that will help you learn down the line, to be again proactive. First thing, be responsible for the task you have taken. It's not like one thing will lead you to that, like one question is asked in the interview and you can do, but how can you solve another question on the same lines, let's say, or do you have any other ideas or ways to implement? So that kind of practical knowledge you will get at USF, or in general US education system also. So I think that is one thing, that self learning will be very key for you also. So definitely please focus on that as well, in addition to the classes. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Before we close out, I would really love to get a snapshot of everyone on the call. I know you're very shy, but if you're willing to put your camera on for just 1 minute, we will take one picture of the whole group, and then we will just take a look at the chat one last time. But if you don't mind, let's unhighlight our folks here. Let's put everybody on the screen. You're going to learn that at USF we have this symbol, which was the USF Bulls. Let's see if we can get some people to turn their cameras on and just take one snapshot. Let's see.
Give me 1 second. I'm also trying to
It's
display
hard. We
everyone.
have, yeah, it's tricky. We've got 30, 34, 35 people on here.
I can only see 9, like the grid. Let me see if I can adjust.
Large
Might have to do
gallery.
do
If you go
large
to view,
gallery, and then you might have to change the page a few
there you
times.
go. Oh, look at that. That looks great.
Vanya,
And
can
for
you?
those who don't know, it's all hands up, 2 in the middle down, thumb over those, and that's go Bulls.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Yeah, Vanya, if you can take the screenshot. I'm
Yeah,
like
I will.
struggling.
All right, everybody. Oh, we keep changing. That's good. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Vanessa, can we just call on Sudhansh Harkut? He had a
Sure.
lovely LinkedIn post. He's just graduated and had a lovely LinkedIn post about how he'd love to give back. So, Sudhansh, are you there?
Yeah, why don't you close
Yeah.
us out?
Hi everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. So I just want to go through my journey a little bit and like give an advice which I was taught earlier by my roommates and my seniors. So the first good thing is I got connected with my seniors because these guys came in 1 year early. So they did all the mistakes and they told me what to do and what not to do. That helped me a lot. So I'll say like connect with your seniors first. If someone says like, okay, you can work here, you can work somewhere, you can earn money, don't rush on earning money. Find like education is the main thing. You want to learn, you want to get internships, you want to go into that path first. So that's how they shaped me. So I started working at Subway first, which eventually I was not told to work by from my home, but I worked in there for a few months, and simultaneously I was volunteering at a research group. Then eventually I got an assistantship. Then I got an internship at Tesla. Then I came back here doing my thesis project. So it's like a growth chart. Slowly you get up higher. But I didn't focus much on Subway. While working at Subway, I was just working 10 hours just to get my rent payoff. And I was just applying for internships. Getting internships is comparatively easy to get a job in here. So if you try to apply like much of them earlier, I came in August and I started applying in September. Job application is a long process, so the more you apply, the more refined your resume gets, and it's easier for you to get a job next time. I'll just say connect with your seniors, Don't rush out on things. Explore, see how people apply, how people see. Like most part important, I think here is applying. If you get an idea earlier, how do you reach out to people? How do you apply and everything? Then it's gonna be easier. Because it's at the start it's lonelier, but once you try to get like things and achieve things, then it becomes easier for you to adapt the situations. That's how the journey has been, if I say in short.
Thank you so much. If you don't mind putting your information in the chat for us, if it's not already there, I'm sure a lot of students would like to connect with you. And I'm just going to put our speakers back on our spotlight to give you a final thank you for all your wonderful advice. I really appreciate it. I know it's everyone is very busy and we have a lot going on, but I know that our students, our incoming students, have a lot of questions and they're excited. So thank you very much, Animesh, Yunus, Gurpinder. Thank you so much for coming on this call and just being open to communicating with our incoming students. So thank you all. If you have any questions that you think of after this call, because we didn't get a ton of questions here, do not be shy. You can connect with Jana's team. They are there to support you during your entire journey here at USF. So thank you for attending, and we'll see you soon on campus. Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
team.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
and all the best.
All the
Thank you.
best.
All the best,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Hey, thank you, Vanessa. Pleasure connecting
No,
with you. Long
thank you so
time, after a
much.
long time, I got those memories back, because you
I'm
reached
so
out and
glad.
it's always great to, share the experiences. So
Thank
happy
you
to
so
be a
much
part
for
of this.
attending. Yeah,
Yeah, and
really
anytime
appreciate
if you
it.
need anything like this, I'm here. All right.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you,
Okay.
Animesh.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.